What up, guys? It's your boy, Grizzly Martian. So, we got to get into quite a few things today. And there's some heavy stuff that I want to talk about. We'll do that a little bit later. There's some fun stuff I want to talk about. And then there's what I want to start with. And I have said this in the past, right? And I don't really want to keep repeating this, but there's something that happened that will be a good chance for me to illustrate exactly what I'm about to explain, okay? So, a lot of times, guys, I will say a lot of crazy shit, right? Now, some of the times when I'm saying this crazy shit, I am actually 100% serious. Other times, I'm just bullshitting. Other times, it is a mixture of real things, and then I'm putting a fun, comedic, satiric spin on whatever it may be, right? Now, there was a interaction that I had on Twitter from a post that I saw, and I made a comment, and then it sparked a lot of outrage. But I want to explain something about it, and it'll give me a good chance to segue into everything that I'm prefacing with all of this. So let's just look at that, and then we'll go from there. Alright, guys. So, as you can see, this nostalgia account made this post, and it says, "The Teletubbies' son baby all grown up with a baby of her own. Feel old yet?" And look at that. Look at her. You remember that show? Creepy as shit, right? We all remember the son in the show if you saw it. And she's got her own bye-bye. Wow. Time flies, huh? So, I saw this, right? And I said, "This is fake. That son was made from AI using DARPA tech before it was released to the public. You troll." And as you can see, there was some people that were a little upset with me, dude. And I was replying to some of them. And he was like, "It's not AI, it's in the actual, retard." I said, "Are you the actual retard that it's in?" And that's not what I said. If you actually read the clearly fake thing I was saying, which is, they use AI in the show to create the sun. Some other people, and I said that after these other people tweeted this, but they were like, "But it's not AI, you imbecile." And then this guy was Spongy Bob, rage bait, fucking idiot, and I liked that one. But, so what I replied to this guy, right? He was like, "Are you retarded? There was no AI in the 1990s. The producers placed 9-month-old Jessica Smith on a high chair in front of a green screen, originally a blue screen, to make her laugh and look down at the Teletubbies. Her father sat out of camera angle and played with the toy mirror and cardboard taxi." Now, what's actually funny about what he's saying here too? Almost 100% positive he used AI to generate that response to me. And so I saw all of that after I got off work, and I said, and even this guy said no AI back then, and I gave a little, But then I said, you might need to get checked. I literally told you I was telling you a fake thing and you're still arguing. And otherwise, it's literally publicly known that Siri was being produced by DARPA by at least 2000. So if you want to believe that's the first time, good for you. And I actually retweeted this because I was like, do you people not know that we've had AI for decades? I mean, guys, should we talk about it? And even predating that, guys, the earliest government funded artificial intelligence program in the United States was established by the Office of Naval Research, ONR, and the U.S. Air Force in 1956. And it goes back to the researchers Herbert Simon and Alan Newell. Carnegie Institute of Technology funding allowed them to attend the historic 1956 Dartmouth Summer Research Project, where the term artificial intelligence was first coined and the field was officially born. Soon after, ARPA, later renamed DARPA, stepped in and became the dominant engine of AI funding throughout the Cold War. IBM, DARPA, AI grant of $2 million to MIT, Project Mac. Strategic Computing Initiative in '83. Advanced Machine Intelligence, Microchip Design, and early autonomous land vehicles to compete with technological advancements in Japan. Okay, now, and I'm sure some of you already know everything that I'm saying, right? But this is why I wanted to bring it up. Because sometimes this is what I'm talking about. I will say some crazy shit or whatever, different times, whatever. And a lot of times, I will be either saying outright real things, or at least exactly the way I see it or perceive it or how I think it is, or maybe sometimes it's just bullshit, I'm just having fun. A lot of times, I'm saying some real shit, and I'm just fusing it with some irony or satire, comedic effect in there for fun, right? Because I thought this would be a good chance to bring it up, because just like in that post, I noticed that after I posted that, of course, whatever, it's a troll, I'm kind of rage baiting people, just being funny. But at the core of the thing, it's actually not that crazy of a concept to think that not only, of course, what we just went through, AI has been around for a while. And it's not that crazy to think that it's been used without our knowledge in weird ways for decades. It's just very funny and unlikely that they would use it on a weird-ass kids show called Teletubbies to generate an AI baby, right? And let's go even deeper, right? Was the AI that they have had and that have they been using, was it good at like video image generation or anything like that? Most likely not. But that's part of the joke side of things, right? Not only was it not used for Teletubbies, they probably didn't have the capabilities of the image and video generation that we now have, I would assume. But that's the thing with so much tech that we actually have and use, guys. Almost all of the tech that we're using and just take for granted today, it starts with the government. It comes out of government-funded research projects. They figure out all the kinks. They get the technology to a certain place that they think is a good, safe, public use version of the thing that they were creating and working on. And then they say, okay, now you can use it. It's been this way with GPS, the internet itself, AI. I'm sure a bunch of things I'm not even aware of. So, guys, and like we went through with specifically the DARPA stuff, right? The early 2000s is when they started it. They've clearly been working on AI for decades, since it first was coined as artificial intelligence back in the 50s and throughout the Cold War and the 70s and 80s and all that shit. So, it's been around. It's been a technology existing in our world. It's just now in the public domain for all of us to use. And I know this. I know a lot of the people that watch me know this kind of stuff. For some of you, it might be new, like some of that stuff. But when I posted that on X, sometimes, I knew it would get some type of reaction, but so many of the people didn't even think, they had no clue, like, how close to reality something like that could actually be, apart from the, whatever, using it on Teletubbies kind of thing, and image video type of stuff that I was talking about, right? Like, it's not that crazy. And like I even said, with the image and video stuff, maybe they actually did have some really advanced video generation type of stuff happening behind the scenes before we saw any of it. Wouldn't be surprised. And I'm sure now, that's probably what happens with a lot of this stuff, is that they do, like I was saying, get all of it to a certain place and give us whatever version it is that they think is okay for the public to use. And then once they do that, all of us using it and utilizing all these tools that they crafted, all of us using it kind of shapes it and makes it better and advances the technology even further. So as we are progressing it in the public space, they are probably siphoning different portions of that technology and improving it way more behind the scenes. So, what I'm trying to get at, that sun in the Teletubbies was fucking fake and AI generated, and that person doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about with that stupid ass post. But, that's a little DARPA and AI knowledge and background for you guys. So, other than that, now, should I start with the heavier stuff? Yeah, so we can end on a lighter note. So, unfortunately, over the weekend, and you guys probably saw, Oliver Tree died. And not only, it's bad enough, right? It's a tragedy. That's horrible. I really enjoyed him as an artist. And music is subjective. But I thought, for what it was especially, he had a special kind of thing going on. And it was, especially, he was very unique. Even more so than if you think he was like musically gifted or talented in that. I love it when people just create a type of sound and genre, whatever, their whole vibe and thing going on. If it's unique, that actually excites me a lot more than just something that sounds so crisp and clean and really good. If it's just a copy and paste bullshit of a bunch of other artists. So, that was really sad to hear on just a human level. But then to make it even weirder and insane, he was in Brazil in a helicopter, even with another YouTuber. I forget the YouTuber's name. I'm sorry. But they were doing some stuff and filming some things, and they had a head on collision with another helicopter in the air. And both helicopters fell to the ground, and everybody died. That's so weird, dude. How do you. That's a pretty big fuck up with all that space up there. And I mean, I try not to get too conspiratorial with stuff like this when they happen, but come on, it's not the first time that we've seen some weird shit happen with artists. You know, when they accidentally have a unfortunate demise, and then whenever that happens, malpractice or foul play or not, the record sales for that artist skyrocket and the record label company makes a bunch of money. It'll happen whether or not there's weird shit going on anyway, right? But the only thing I'll say on that is that I do find it weird that just this year, back in April, Oliver Tree left his record label company and started his own record label called like Alien Boy Records or something. And then, you know, and then, dude, so that happened, right? It was such a weird weekend for weird, tragic shit. So that happened. And then a lady, a model, and on, what do they call them? Instagram models? Whatever. On, she was in Brazil as well. She was bungee jumping, and the guys forgot to latch the safety cord onto her and just threw her off of the cliff, and she fell to her death and died. And there is a video of it. We'll watch it because it doesn't show the impact. It doesn't show the cessation of her life or any of that. But I do kind of want to watch it. I think you guys can handle it because it just shows how stupid these guys were. And because of negligence and just whatever the fuck, it could have been prevented so easy, but it's so it could have been avoided, and they're very stupid. So let's just watch that real quick. Isn't that what is happening, dude? They're all just lifting her up. Let's throw her off the cliff. Oh shit. Whoops. We forgot to hook her up. And then after that, they realized what happened. And apparently they like went on the run and they were trying to flee the scene. A couple of them at least. And they had to get like a police helicopter and they found them. And then in Missouri, there was a plane full of 11 skydivers. And something happened, malfunctioned, and the entire plane crashed and killed the pilot and all the skydivers, and all 12 people are dead. And they were like close to the jump point too, and they had a bunch of family and friends like out there watching so they could see them jump and land, and instead of that they watched them all crash and burn and die. So there was a lot of morbid things happening this weekend, and that's very unfortunate. That's kind of the way it goes, unfortunately, dude. But the thing, it is inevitable, right? For all of us. But what really sucks about each of those that we just went over is that they shouldn't have happened. Some more than others. A lot of that seems like it could have been prevented, but it wasn't. So that's pretty shitty to hear about all of that. Now, I don't want to end on that. So, I mean, I had a good weekend. I had my kiddos, and we went skateboarding. Well, myself and my two sons were skateboarding, and my daughter was rollerblading. And here at the Falls of Idaho, there's a really nice area that's around the Snake River with a bunch of big sidewalks and stuff that you can take scooters on, or bike, or skateboard, or walk, or whatever. So we went out and did that. It was a good time. And hung out with Shikiki. She's cute as ever, like usual. And I also had a very good, as far as content goes, had a very good content weekend on Facebook. Got a bunch of views, bunch of followers. So that's great. At this point, I mean, I've had a success with videos on every platform, and TikTok used to be like consistently my highest views, like out of all of them. But lately, it's kind of shit. Even with really good videos or whatever videos, like, and whatever, still get views. I'll still post over here all the time, especially with the podcasts and stuff. But I'll just say the views and the reach and everything that I've been gaining, all the traction on Facebook lately, step your game up. Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, what's happening? And I know, different platforms, different algorithms, but good content is good content. You're the problem, not me. Cool, dude. Oh, she got a new toy, and it's a little kangaroo. My kids got it for her. She didn't want anything to do with it at first, but now, as you can see, they're cool. And that's a pretty cute toy, huh? Little kangaroo. I like it. But, alright. What a day. What a weekend. Let's have a good week. Grizzly Martian out. Peace.